Good, good. Keep that nice steady rhythm. As you land, remember to look towards the next jump. That was great, Andente. You and Comet make a great team. Your father would be so proud of you. You have so much of him in you.
Really?
Yes, you have his eyes and his ambition.
I wish you could see me compete next month. But you'll be there, won't you?
Of course I will. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Now go call Comet out. I have to go over to Mrs. Holdsworth in Moorland, so I'll be gone for an hour or so.
Why are you going to Mrs. Holdsworth's?
She's been ill lately, so I'm going over to bring her some soup. I should be home in time to make dinner.
Okay, I'll see you later. There you go, boy. You did a great job today. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Grandma, is Mum home yet?
Odette, I'm so sorry.
What do you mean?
There's been an accident. Hey Odette, you've been training.
Training?
Yeah, for competition next week.
Oh, I'm not going anymore.
Why not? You worked so hard getting ready for it.
How can I compete when Mum isn't here?
Remember all those times she helped you train? She would have wanted you to go.
I can't do it without her. I need her here.
I had hoped this day would never come.
What are you talking about?
After your father passed away and you and your mother came to live with me, she wrote a letter. She said that if anything ever happened to her, I was to give it to you.
Why didn't you give it to me sooner?
I was waiting for the right moment. I didn't want to upset you any further, but I guess now is as good a time as any.
What did she write?
I don't know. I never read it. She wanted you to have it. Here.
Thanks, Grandma. Okay, Mum. Let's see what you have to tell me.
My dear Odette, if you are reading this, then it means I am gone. I wish I could have stayed with you forever, but it was not meant to be. You are probably feeling lost and afraid, or think that I have abandoned you. But this is not true, because no matter where you are, I will always be with you. There are so many things I wish I could tell you, but life is simply too short. So instead, I will tell you a story from when I was a teenager. I hope it will help you to realise that no matter what life may throw at you, you are strong enough to overcome it. The story begins when I was 16. I lived in New Hillcrest with your grandparents. As you know, I grew up with horses just like you. For my 16th birthday, your grandfather bought me a new horse. His name was Legend. Every day I would go riding with my sister. You never got to meet your Aunt Riley, but I know she would have loved you. Riley was a very special person. She could always see the good in someone, even if they didn't see it themselves. She was my best friend, and we used to spend hours galloping over the open plains of South Hoof Peninsula. We were never afraid because we knew we had each other's backs. But all that changed when Riley got sick. The doctors couldn't explain what was wrong, only that there was nothing they could do. She passed away 6 months later. Losing Riley felt like losing a part of myself. It didn't seem possible that someone so amazing could just be gone. The night after her funeral was when I first felt the darkness. It appeared to me in a dream, or perhaps more of a nightmare. I was out riding Legend when suddenly he stopped. I looked around before I saw a figure in the distance. I don't know why, but somehow I knew we were in danger, and Legend seemed to sense it as well. We turned and began to gallop for home, but I could already hear the hoofbeats of the figure and its horses gaining on us. I could feel its hot breath on my neck. And when I was sure it was going to catch me, I woke up. This was the first time I saw the darkness, but it was certainly not the last. I continued to have nightmares every night, but they were always slightly different. I became afraid to fall asleep. But it was not only in my dreams that the dark figures haunted me. At first, I stopped jumping for fear that I might crash and injure myself or Legend. Then I stopped riding altogether. Legend was left in his paddock, and I rarely went to see him. The nightmares continued, getting worse every time. No one could understand what was wrong with me. I still loved horses, and I missed riding so badly. One night I dreamt I was riding Legend. Everything seemed to be fine, but then they appeared. Dark figures appearing out of nowhere. I had never seen so many. Legend began to gallop in an attempt to escape the darkness. Every time we went to turn, more dark figures would appear. We were forced to continue on, and then I realised what they were doing. They were herding us towards a cliff. I pulled Legend up seconds before we reached the edge. There was no way we would survive such a drop. I began to cry. I was so tired of constantly running, tired of being afraid. Right then and there, I decided I wasn't going to run away anymore. If they wanted me, they could have me. I turned Legend around and we faced them. Dark figures on horseback surrounding us. But they didn't do anything. They just stood there. It was the first time I'd truly gotten a good look at them. They stared at me, and I stared back. And suddenly, all my fear just disappeared. I didn't know what they were going to do to me, but I wasn't afraid anymore. Then I blinked, and they were gone. When I woke up the next morning, I felt different, lighter somehow. For the first time in months, I went out to Legend's paddock. I tacked him up and rode him over to South Hoof. We reached the cliff that we had been chased to in my dreams. As I stared out over the ocean below, I finally understood. The darkness that had haunted me for so long was never really there. I had created it. After Riley died, I was so afraid to go through life without her that I had created all this fear to hide behind so I wouldn't have to face reality. And as soon as I decided I wasn't going to be afraid anymore, the fear disappeared. You may not realize it now, but fear is a choice. As you go through life, you will face many challenges. It won't be easy, and there will be times when you will think it's impossible. But if there is one message that I want to give you, it is that no matter how hard things get, you will get through it. Because when you are fearless, there is nothing you cannot achieve.
I'm going to do it, Mum. I'm going to be fearless. For you. Grandma, is anyone using the jumping arena?
No, I don't think so. Why?
Because I need to go train. I've got a competition to win.